No, that's.
This is a special meeting call for this evening. I had a couple people message me about how you do a special meeting. A special meeting can be called by the auditor, president of commissioners, president of the council, or four council people that asked for a special meeting. So this special meeting was asked for to make a consideration of a park board applicant. Did we get any other applicants?
No, and it's been on the radio for maybe 3 weeks now.
Okay, did the park board have anything they wanted to say?
Yeah, no, the only thing is, we did put out a Facebook post, I think it was within the last 3 or 4 days. Because we had heard at other meetings that there wasn't enough media out there on appointments and stuff, to make sure people were aware. They had enough applicants, so we put that out this weekend.
I posted
But
it on August 10th. On my council page, and I believe on Stand Up Starke County.
Well, I know the resignation happened after the last park board meeting. So
And
that's when the position became open.
the media was alerted the very day that we got the letter from Kathy resigning, so. And it's been on the radio because I've heard it.
And I just want to make sure I'm asking you since you're the vice president. Did we not say though that they should come to our next meeting with a letter? I just want to make sure we don't upset anybody in the
I thought you
community.
said submit letters to the auditor, I thought.
That's what I thought.
But that we would vote on it at our next meeting. I just want to make sure nobody gets upset in the community.
I thought we said to submit letters to the auditor.
And I only received one.
That's what we said. I mean, the last time we didn't even post it anywhere, and there were still only 2 people.
Well, we had a second person that was interested, but we were told you wanted somebody with experience. And I don't think you allowed his application.
Was that?
That was last time around, right? Wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get it.
No, when Kathy, no, I'm talking about when we appointed
Oh, yeah.
Kathy.
Oh, okay.
There was a second applicant and we were told that they wanted somebody with experience.
Right.
And he wasn't even considered, so.
Right.
I also think that application came in later though, didn't it?
I don't know.
It
It
was
was
like-
another applicant.
Actually, I don't know which one. I think actually one of the pews even said at that meeting, they asked. I don't remember
There was
everybody
actually
else
2
though.
openings.
It was him. Yeah, you're right. It was.
It was, right?
It was who?
It was.
Yeah, he showed up, Mr. Pugh.
And he said. he would do it. Oh,
You know what I think is important, Dave? How many park board members is here tonight? Just you? Okay, well, I'm not gonna ask you to speak for the park board.
Yeah, and
the
I
board.
could, 'cause I haven't
No, I'm not,
discussed it.
but I'm not gonna ask you to speak for your park board, but I would be just curious to know. As far as my input, my vote is, I think I would like to hear from some of the park board members. How they feel about the applicant and what, because and you don't have to talk publicly, I'm not asking you to do that, but that's something that I would be very interested in.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, at least in the past, the park board itself didn't really have any input on any of the folks applying. Those applications went to whoever did the appointments, so if the council did the appointments, that's who it went through. If the judge did the appointments, that's who it went through. If the commissioners did the appointments, that's who it went through. Would it be nice for us to?
Well, sure. No, well, I mean, we vote, we got the ultimate vote, I understand that. But that doesn't mean we can't listen to input from the public either.
Well, no, and actually, I think in the last meeting when Kathy and Carl was appointed, I did chime in that meeting and said they both
Right.
had previous experience on the park board, so I didn't see any reason why, there's applications should go forward.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the appointment of Davidson to the park board vacancy that requires a Republican appointee by the council. And I'll second it.
Have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion?
Well, you want to say something, Todd?
Well, I want to, but.
I mean, is it, he's not gonna stand up and tell him something about by himself or something before we go, I don't even know which
Yeah.
gentleman it even is here.
I think that's good.
Is he here?
Yeah.
I don't know,
He's here.
there you go. And this seems kind of, yeah, before Kathy, the other guy spoke and we was,
Yeah.
having an idea about the guy.
I'm at least a fifth generation Starke County resident. I grew up on a Hoosier homestead farm. I graduated from OD in 2003. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've spent a lot of time outdoors and in parks and whatnot. I'm a drafter by training. I'm a landscaper currently and have been for 12 years, so I've got a lot of experience dealing with numbers and breaking things down. I've been on both sides of creating bids and also breaking them down, so I understand more or less what I'm being told, and then I can generate the information to give to other people. As a landscaper, my skills are similar to what the park board employees do, so I will be able to speak their language and understand what they're dealing with. The real reason I want to join the park board was because Coos Lake doesn't really have any representation in county government at all. Of the 7 members up here, 4 of you live within 3 miles of this building. Cassie lives clear over in Sand Pier, Todd lives in Fox,
Hamlet.
sorry, Hamlet, I knew that. And you live over near the Marshall County line. There's nobody representing anybody up where I live. And we've been forgotten. A couple years ago, we had a little bit of an issue with an out-of-state person coming in and trying to take over Public Beach. I think the county forgot they even owned it. So during that little experience, they rediscovered that it is their property, it is your responsibility. So I'd like to be able to represent the people that live there and use these facilities. I was on the lake yesterday and I went around and I know roughly where all of the fire lanes and public accesses are, and half of them have piers on them. They shouldn't be there. That should be open to the public or for the fire department to launch their boats. So I'd like to be able to do something about that. Any questions for me?
Well, I guess the one question I have for you is your conduct with people like that. How do you handle yourself? Like if you get competition, stuff like that, like, can you be respectful and just decent to people and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So I actually just happened to be on one of the pages you moderate. You said somebody, well, I don't want to get it wrong. I just want to make sure because if I'm gonna vote to appoint you to this, I don't want to see a lawsuit or something crazy come out of it. So let me see here, just real quick. Amy Hirschman, nope, wrong one. Hold on here. Johnny Tuttle, no, this is an ignorant or over opinionated loudmouth that won't listen to actual facts. Now, once you're on a board, and you're in that position, as I am, and all you guys are. Is that something you'll be able to kind of keep at bay?
I restrained myself a lot with her and I didn't say a lot of things I was thinking and didn't wanted to say.
Oh, I understand. I'm not concerned about what you said. That's why.
Everyone has a First Amendment right, and she was asking a lot of questions repeatedly after being told the same answer repeatedly by multiple
Okay.
different people, not just myself.
Okay.
And just ignoring us and not listening and just being in general loudmouth. It's the only way I can really put it.
Well, again, that would be my concern, is stuff like that, you know. Kind of the other one, and no, I'm just because I just want to show you the reason that I'm going to vote the way I vote. Amy Hirschman, the zip through Mart has syringe kits. Edit. I was incorrect. It was not the zip through Mart, which is great. I'm glad you edited that. But you got to be careful what you say when you sit on our boards and things like that, because we can actually get in trouble if you say the wrong things that are not correct. So that is just, again, everyone has a First Amendment right. We can say what we want, but we are also in some ways, especially once we get in a position like this, we are having. It's just my thought to you.
I've never known David to be disrespectful. I've known him to be one of the most intelligent people that I know, and he's a hard worker. And the fact that he brings relevant background experience to the position is very important. And I will finish my statement by saying, after the display of behavior that we just witnessed in this crowd, most of this crowd witnessed before the start of this meeting, for anybody to call a person out for calling someone a loudmouth online after a councilman was sitting in his chair being physically threatened by a sitting commissioner is hypocritical and laughable.
Well, I will say this, whoever you're talking about, I wasn't here because I just walked in. They are not on the issue. If you want to bring that up in a special meeting, I'm all for it. I'm at the issue at hand. And this is about appointing somebody that, we need to make sure we have less of that, Cassie,
It's a
less
shame
of
you
it.
weren't
and
here.
more. Well, I'm
That's why the
sorry,
sheriff- That's why the
I got
deputy
here when I
was-
got here. But
is here.
the point is, we're talking about this.
Can I make a comment? I've known the Sin family forever. Dave, you're not the first smart aleck in your family. Yeah, no, I've known the whole family. They're good people, they're hardworking people. You know what really makes me tired? Is all the squabbling we're doing on Facebook and all these other things. I wish they could just blow it up and be done with it. Because we've got a lot of animosity and I don't know for why. I know a lot of good people are being attacked. And this stuff needs to stop. It really does. We need to put it to bed and that's all I want to say.
So are you indicting him in some way though for being part of Stand Up Stark County since a lot of the bashing was on there? I'm not sure if I understand your. point.
What's that?
By bringing that up,
Oh, I
him
think,
being involved in any of that,
I
or-
think Dave is perfectly qualified for what we want to be.
I don't know Mr. Sin, and I have nothing personal against you. From when I met you, I like you, no problem with that. And I have no doubt in my mind that your intentions to be on the park board, your intentions are very, very good. Okay, so, but with that being said, we called a special meeting tonight. That I did not condone it. I didn't ask for this, I was not part of the board that asked for the special meeting. I'm here as a council member to do my duty. Mr. President, this is, and again, Mr. Sin, this is no disrespect for you, and this does not mean that I will not support you, or I will not vote for you. It does not mean that. But what I would like to do, Mr. President, I would like to table this vote till our regular stated meeting. That's a motion on the floor. Could I make another motion? That's what I'm saying. No, we have two motions on the floor.
we have one motion there, but then we can accept your motion after we act on the on that motion.
Okay, can I speak now?
Sure.
I actually hit his mom on one day going to school and asked her about that, told her car and my car. So I know you do, and. As far as Stand Up Stark County says, or Rise Up Stark County, or Stark County stupidity, whatever it is, I don't care. This vote in my mind has zero to do with that. Has nothing to do with that. This is not a acknowledgement, as some people think, of Stand Up Stark County. It has zero to do with that. I could care less. I don't care. But what I care about is you're from Oregon Township. I know your family. You're the only applicant. It's been put on there over and over again. I mean. That's all I got to say.
Well, let's put on there August 10th. Somebody said that's.
I put it on August 10th, but as
So that's-
Colleen stated repeatedly, it was on the radio for what, over 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been on for 4 weeks.
Yeah, okay, I'm just trying to qualify instead of why it
Let's
was.
get all of the information out there that was said as far as publication. It was one publication that I made was August 10th. There were numerous other ones on other sources and by other.
I was just trying to address Howard's point of why I couldn't have waited till our regular meeting.
Park board appointments are important enough to warrant special meetings by this council, so.
It gives us time to focus on one thing and not 37 things that we have no business focusing on and move on.
And I don't know, David, but I talked with you and I asked what your credentials and qualifications were, and I was good with that. Don't know you personally, but I think you'll do a good job.
So if I could just go back to one thing too, though, just because somebody mentioned your vast knowledge of this subject. Tom, I saw you make a face though about, is that true about piers being in our fire lanes?
So, yeah, well, I mean, the park board itself, at least it hasn't been a topic for us. I mean, we dealt with our own peers, our own lane. And then we do have, that's one thing I was gonna say though, we got a really good working relationship with the Coos Lake people. At least the park board does. I don't know where all you live or anything, but they come to our meetings regularly. We work directly with them. It's been a very workable relationship with them, and I think they've been very satisfied with the work the park board has done with that Coos Lake beach area, which isn't very large.
I was there the other day.
Yeah, but it's, we had put signs up, and then if signs come down, they come and let us know, and whoever the superintendent is at the time works really diligently.
While we had you here, I just wanted to make sure, because I go to a lot of park board meetings and there are Coons Lake people there and I haven't heard a lot of complaints, but I also don't want to see people on our property either if that's going
Oh,
on.
yeah, I mean, the other thing seems more like a county issue as far as fire lanes around the lake and stuff like that. We've dealt with park issues, not municipal issues, it's, with forest, with, piers, we deal with the campground, we deal with, the Goose Lake property, so those are the main areas that we have our.
Council have any more questions? We have one motion on the floor, just, I'll roster a vote. All those in favor, aye.
I,
I,
Is that 4? And how many are opposed?
opposed.
I'm abstaining.
1 abstention, 2 opposed.
And who were the two opposed? You and,
Tony and myself.
you can't vote, president can't vote only a tie. Probably.
Well, actually, it's when there's a tiebreaker. But the president can still register their vote. Absolutely. That, you're wrong about that.
Okay. Point of order.
Okay. Any other, well, actually, before you make the motion to adjourn, Cassie, just so I don't get called on knowing something that you know that. There's, I don't know if I'm getting the word right, because there's a couple of words for it, the sesquicentennial. Semi.
250th anniversary.
Well, there's a couple of words for it. You have volunteered to be the representative on the council for that.
I was approached by someone on the Historical Society as I was standing outside of my office, and she stated she had reached out and hadn't had an answer yet, and she appreciated the work that I was doing for the west side of the county as a council member, and then the talk continued into me expressing interest in her saying, yes, sounds good. So, yeah.
So just so the council knows, like I said, I knew it, so I'm
I
not
didn't
accused
know
of knowing
anything
something
about
again
it.
that somebody didn't know.
I didn't know
Now,
anything about
I
it.
also wanted to speak to that.
There haven't been any meetings that I've been made aware of. I haven't done anything on it. It was just a chance meeting Benita Cunningham and I had outside of my office.
But I think when I spoke to you, you said she tried to reach me first.
She
And there-
did.
and there's no
Message.
emails or text, this text message, I don't even know her, so I don't know how she would get my, or if she had my number, but I haven't heard from her. But I will say also, because I think you, and since Gwen's here, I'm just gonna mention Gwen, because I heard she was asking about it. People have been asking about the bison. I think you asked about the bison also. So the bison, and I don't think I can get, I think this is okay, because this is something passed, but I was the chairman of the board that.
Well,
I
I'm
put
just
together
gonna
for the
ask,
for the
because
bicycle.
our county attorney is not here, and this special meeting was only advertised regarding park board appointments, so I think that any other discussion of other topics.
Actually, you can discuss other topics. We're not gonna vote on anything. I'm just letting you know where the bison's at, letting the public know. That's allowed. That's allowable.
I'm gonna abstain from further discussion.
Okay,
because
I'm gonna let everybody know.
it's-
We're still been trying to find an artist to do the bison. Actually, Mark Vendel today told me that he might be able to do it. Melba Schilling talked to, Zach Ingram, and maybe Zach might do it, but I'm just letting everybody know the bison is not being held hostage. I have it.
When's the last public meeting you had concerning this bison, because it would have been.
I never knew there was one.
It's been sitting for a long time. I don't know if it's been that long, but the other thing too, just so everybody knows, the artwork that was voted on by the board that was assembled at that time was a natural bison with the county flag on each haunch. And actually, the commissioners had given me approval to take the things that we had assembled from the bicentennial, because at the time, the historical society didn't want to put the items there. They didn't really have room in the new building they went to. We talked about putting it in the courthouse. The other thing, like there's other memorabilia that I've collected over the
I
process.
mean, why did it take you hearing that it's being talked about in public to finally write?
Oh, let me answer your question about that, because it came up in the discussions about the semi. I don't think it's.
Says bison to me.
That's bison.
Bicentennial.
Yeah,
it's a bicentennial, okay.
so anyways, that's why, because it got asked in that, they want to have it ready for that.
But like the last 8 years, you haven't had.
Dude, if you know people that pay, let me know. I've been asking tell me how many times I said, maybe we'll bring it to your shop, put it in timer.
Could have had public meetings.
I never even had one.
The public could have heard about this and said, hey, I can pay for it.
I know.
It's been silent for 8 years.
Well, I'm bringing it up now, Justin, so go ahead and post it or whatever you want to do with it, but at least you got the information. So with that said, is the council okay if I ask if anybody else has any input or? Go ahead.
Since you called my name out.
Yeah.
So where did you say the bison?
It's at my barn, it's inside, it's in dry storage. Yeah.
So why isn't it at the county glove factory? Why is it on private property? Wouldn't that be?
Well, because it wasn't that
a.
actually wasn't a county function. It was, the bicentennial was separate from the county, just so you know. It was a separate deal. It was actually a state run thing. But if we don't have much room there, I'd be happy to put it there since you have a problem with it. Like that'd be totally okay with me. Cause it's in my hallway in my barn and I have to move it this way when I open this door, move it that way, I open that door. You know, that's a good idea. I'll ask Rick if there's room. If that's all right with the commissioners. I'll ask Rick that. That's a good idea. I like that idea. In fact, Rick will probably help me move it even, so. Anyways, does the council in general have any problems if I go around the room and ask if there's any other input?
Well, as it pertains to council building business only.
It would have to pertain to the topic of the special meeting. And I just, we had a disagreement over that with group emails where people were talking about waivers. And I reached out to the attorney and he corrected you, Mr. Pearman, on that we are not supposed to be discussing.
Yeah, group emails, Cassie, Miss.
And so we shouldn't be discussing topics that are outside.
Okay, well, I'll challenge you on that the next meeting. I'll look for a motion to adjourn. We'll ask the attorney.
Plan corrects you, then you can make that public.
Okay, use your note off.
Last time over the email.
Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, aye. Is there any opposed?
It's only outside. All right.